is a very mischievous way to escape controversy, to escape challenging power and its abuse, to escape the possibility of not being promoted, or to escape the worst of all curses on campus, which is to be ostracized. And let me just end in this, and I did want to say a lot more, but we have to go on. We are in Washington now dealing with not only a problem of paralysis, we're dealing with a level of refusal to know. The level of ignorance, deliberate ignorance, and the rewards for deliberate ignorance on Capitol Hill are unparalleled in American history. And it's not dealing with just climate change. It's dealing with simple economics, simple reflection of what has worked in history. The ideology is extremely focused on political action committees, fundraisers, and a very passive public. A public does not do its homework on politicians. And so what we're dealing with here is this kind of insanity. And I want to use that word deliberately. We are spending $650 million in the last year on guarding our embassy in Baghdad. $650 million. The entire budget of OSHA, which deals with the problem of 58,000 people dying every year to workplace-related diseases and trauma, that's over 1,000 a week, has a budget of $550 million. So what is it culturally about styles of impermissible violence, where the focus and priority and resources go to largely those kinds of violences that are not attributed to corporate negligence, corporate greed, and corporate crime? And so we will spend trillions of dollars in half a generation on the war against terror in this country and abroad, but we will not spend very much money at all on 65,000 deaths a year from air pollution, or 100,000 deaths a year from hospital malpractice, Harvard School of Public Health figures, or 45,000 deaths a year, 800 a week, of people who cannot afford health insurance to get diagnosis and treatment. Pay or die, they die. Not to mention injuries and diseases. Why is it that we are so cavalier about 250 Americans dying today and every day from hospital-induced infections? Center for Disease Control. In other words, we have over 300,000 to 400,000 people, not to mention deaths and injuries, who are dying from clearly preventable causes. And the political system and the corporate system have decided that they are not worth turning them into political issues, campaign issues, regulatory issues, or debate issues. Why? What is it about the culture that delegates massive forms of violence to the lowest rung of society's priority attention? And there are other examples. And yet highlights those forms of violence that, of course, do not upset the power structure. Street crime, billions and billions of dollars. Corporate crime, starved enforcement budgets in the Justice Department. I just leave you with this and urge you to simply slow down, give yourself time for reflection, throw away the iPhones for a while. I'm talking to students. And contemplate where you want to be 40, 50 years from now when you look back. What do you want to be proud of? And the time goes very quickly. You've got about 15,000 days or a little over 2,000 weeks before you turn 65. If you want to retire that early. And you know how fast last week went. And if you don't think it's going to go fast, ask your parents and grandparents. The important thing here is, what kind of estimate of your own significance do you have? And one thing that's great about anthropology is that anthropology is interested in everything. Therefore, it's an antidote to excessive micro-specialization, which tends to shear off your conscience and the broader mission of what you're all about as you go into your postgraduate period. Thank you.